In this episode, we get one step closer of completing phase 3 of the game by preparing modular engines, get our hands on black powder and smokeless powder, craft destructible weapons such as the Novelist detonator and the rifle, and much more. Yo, hello everybody and welcome back to Prone to Play and my Let's Play series of Satisfactory. In the last episode we expanded our refinement and were able to produce our first packaged fuel, and in between episodes we actually accumulated quite a few of these because after setting up the fabrication we were busy with other stuff such as completing the milestones of tier 5 and 6, and so in the meantime we were able to craft a lot of more additional packaged fuel. But what we were not able to do is start the sulfur research tree, or continue with our sulfur research tree and unlock us some explosives such as nobelisks and maybe even more advanced versions such as pure with quartz and so on and so forth. But in order to be able to do that, we first need to be able to craft black powder and research it in the MAM. And this is exactly the plan for today. But before we do this, I quickly want to hook this manufacturer up to power with you, because I rearranged a little bit here. I needed further space for my storage system. Again, I just simply added some smart splitters at the end of the line, hooked it up with more mergers again for the awesome sync line for the overflow, and I added packaged fuel, computers and crystal oscillators to the storage system. And I once again set up a manufacturer for circuit boards because they were mostly used for the computers, and we will need more circuit boards later on for the adaptive control unit and maybe even for other stuff. So I want to restock my storage a little bit. I still have only 29 left, and for the adaptive control units we will need another 500 of those, and before I can set up an automated process for this, I want to prepare them beforehand. And what I also want to prepare is, since we already completed our milestones for tier 5 and tier 6, all that's left to do for the phase 3 is to complete the phase 3 project parts. The versatile framework, we already have more than enough. We have almost, where are they? Here. We have almost 2,400 of them on stock, and we are passively producing them in our steel factory. So this is long prepared. And now I set up a manufacturer for the modular engine. Since we have more than enough power to spare on our power grid, I overclocked it to maximum capacity, and we will use motors, rubbers and smart platings, which are all prepared in these containers here. We only need 1,000 motors and 1,000 smart platings for the modular frames, for the 500 that we need in order to complete the phase 3. But I am okay with producing more and either storing them away or shredding them into the awesome sync, or with the awesome sync for more coupons points. Because if you shred these parts individually, they get only 50% of the amount of points. I think it's around 5,000 or 3,000, I don't know, but if we craft them into modular engines we get double the amount of points, which is basically the idea of syncing in more advanced parts in order to get more coupons. So why not do that, since we have more than enough on stock anyways. So let's simply hook this up. I only use Mark 1 bells, so it will take a little while until the 15 rubber is inserted. But now we are consuming an additional 184.7 megawatts and produce 2.5 modular engines, excuse me, per minute. And we have around 1,000 additional megawatts to spare until we have to think about, I actually have not prepared a storage container here, until we have to worry about our power grid. But there you saw the first modular engine getting produced. Although it's a temporary and only half automated setup, it's still more than enough for the moment. Alright. Yeah, that was basically not difficult or time consuming at all, but I wanted to get this going so that we have this in the future. Now, the next step in order to progress further is to craft black powder. And I actually want to get more into automation of stuff again, so I will set up an assembly for producing black powder. And in order to do that, we need coal and sulfur. Now sulfur we only have picked up manually from some rocks around the desert, but not from nodes until now. We do have one quite close around here, right next to our steel factory, and some more additional coal nodes as well. But this area of the desert is very steep, and these are on different heights. I think the sulfur is elevated much higher on a mountain, and the coal is very, very far down below, right on the beach side. So yeah, this is kind of tricky to set up, and I don't want to bother with this really. But instead, let me see if I can show you on the scanner. I don't really think so, but maybe it's worth trying. You might remember the two normal nodes of coal over here, where one is... there it is, yes. This is another pure sulfur node. And right over here we have two normal coal nodes. One of them is feeding into our first two coal generators that we set up temporarily. And these are exactly on the same level and not too far away from each other either. So I want to set up a little, black powder production over here, which leads us basically to our original basis. So, where did I park my car? There it is. Let's simply drive back to where it all started. Long time no see. It's like when you play Pokemon, challenge the Elite Four and spawn back in your hometown again. Now, let's see. By the way, do I have enough? Yes, I do. Alright, here are the two coal nodes. For the moment we still can leave this be, because we don't need that much coal, but it might be that we will need to delete our first coal generators, which will close the gap of our remaining power even further. But this is a problem for future me. Let's see, alright, a little more over here. By the way, this is a resource called SAM or SAM ore, and I think this is still work in progress because I have never seen anybody doing anything with this, although it does not say work in progress, but yeah, currently there's no use, at least not that I know, for this. And here we are at the sulfur node. Now let me make some room, because I want to try something. You might have seen, or you definitely have seen the blueprint designer set up at my bases. And I actually prepared something that I got inspired by other content creators, which is a miner house. I set up a blueprint for a miner house so that we don't have simply a miner put down in the middle of nowhere and sitting right in the plain environment, but instead we can encase it into a little building. And I want to see if this works and how this looks. But let me see. Maybe I set down a foundation first, and then it will be easier to put down the miner house as well. Okay. Now it aligns with the foundations, but now I really want to place it on the edge. And then we have to check if we still can place down the miner. This should be it. Alright, fingers crossed. And we still can see the node, so setting down a miner should be absolutely no problem. Yes. Okay, there's the output. Maybe something like this. And this should connect easily. Nice. I've never actually done this, but I saw this on what Darren plays, and the build is a little bit inspired with the glass frames, but I put a glass roof on top of it, and yeah, put a little bit of variance, but it might seem very, very familiar. Okay, since we are now really out in the forest, I want to lead the sulfur back onto the sand and connect it with the coal over there. So let me simply draw or drag some foundations. Okay. I connected a simple platform with the miner house for the sulfur as well as one for coal. And now I will have to set down first assembler. Let's put it here just for now. I don't know how this will look in the end. I think this place will actually change a lot of times, because I don't really know for sure what we will need for a complete setup of nobelisks or black powder topics. I don't know how to describe it better, but I actually have to go back to my bases, get some more steel beams and reinforced iron plates for the conveyor belts, and then hook everything up to power, or drag some power lines as preparation at least, and then I will come back to you. So see you in a minute. Alright, we are good to go for the first start. Now it's not impressive, but it gets the job done for the beginning. I simply dragged the whole conveyor belt from the sulfur up to here, as well as for the coal, and all that's left to do is hook the sulfur up to power, the sulfur miner, as well as the coal miner, and then feed the conveyor belts into the assembler. Now, oh, of course we have to give the assembler some power as well. Now, in order to produce 30 black powder, in order to produce 30 black powder per minute, we need to give the assembler 15 coal as well as 15 sulfur per minute. And yeah, of course we have a lot to spare here at the moment, since we produce 240 sulfur per minute and extract 120 coal out of here, and have another 120 available here. But the long-term idea for this place is to actually craft these two resources into compacted coal later on. It will make sense once we progress further down the research tree for sulfur. But yeah, this is basically the idea that I have in mind for this place, so it will expand in the future for sure. And for now, we will simply use it in order to get our hands on some black powder. Now, if we put down a MAM over here, we actually see that we need more modular frames as well as sulfur for this little tree here, and we need 100 smokeless, 100 black powder for the smokeless powder reward. We need 50 black powder for the Nobelisk, and another 100 for one additional hand equipment slot. So we have to wait for 250 black powder anyways, so it will take around 8.5 minutes to get this done. But this is how it looks. And while we are waiting for the assembler to craft 250 black powder, I will go back again once more to the bases in order to pick up more modular frames, more rotors, some plastic, and maybe some more of these as well. And yeah, we will see how the needs for the further research is in around 10 minutes. So yeah, please hold the line. Okay, I'm back, and I also brought some power shards with me, so you can see the black powder actually flying into the storage container now. Because we are now actually producing 75. I will undo this once we are finished with the research, but yeah, I don't want to wait. So I also picked up some sulfur from the conveyor belts, so let's go into the research, shall we? First, let's research the experimental power generation. And now we actually have the compacted coal as a reward for additional research, But in order to unlock that, we need a hard drive. And then we will need another hard drive as well as compacted coal and packaged fuel, what we have, for unlocking turbo fuel. And this is actually a version of fuel combined with compacted coal and is much more efficient than fuel. And the idea is actually to get our hands onto this and set up a fuel generator site which does not run with normal fuel but with turbo fuel, so we get much more out of our fuel for the generator and for the power output. But I will have to pick up more hard drives in order to do this, but we can finally unlock the Nobelisk detonator as well as the Nobelisks themselves. I still have to practice my speaking a little bit. Now, where do we have the Nobelisk detonator and what's missing? We need an object scanner, 10 steel beams, and we need reinforced iron plates. And everything that is necessary I still have in my trunk. So let's craft an object scanner really quick. Then we have everything for a Nobelisk detonator. And let's take a quick look. Yes, now we can finally let things explode. And there we have also the Nobelisk, and I think we can set up another assembler in order to craft these. Yeah, not automated, but half automated. For now, let's craft some manually, so that I can show you how these work. You simply take out a Nobelisk detonator, reload, and then, where do we try? Let's see if we can find a little tree. You place down a Nobelisk, get some distance, and then hit right click to detonate. And you can actually reload multiple times and set up multiple detonators or Nobelisks before you finally let them explode, and then you can have some more area covered and detonate multiple Nobelisks at once, so you don't have always to place one and let them explode, but instead set down more. Okay, now it's not the final setup that I have in mind for today, but we finally have our TNT discovered. Let's go on. Now we have smokeless powder, which is actually a little bit more complex, because we need heavy oil residue as well as black powder for this. And I just got a brilliant idea where we will craft this. Because at our refinement we have the plastic refinery that produces 20 plastic per minute and 10 heavy oil residue, which currently gets crafted into petroleum coke. But if we take some black powder with us, we can set up another refinery, lead the 10 heavy oil residue into the other refinery, and then perfectly have the ratio for smokeless powder. Unfortunately, we do not have any heavy oil residue available over here. One way to get it over here would be to set up a packager with empty canisters, package the heavy oil residue, transport it via a railway or a highway with automated vehicles to here, unpackage it again, but it would be way too much effort because yeah, I don't want... It's appealing to automate ammunition and stuff, but there's no real need to, because yeah, maybe we will find a solution in the future, but for now this has to do. But since we get more and more equipment available, let's unlock an additional hand slot.
Has been expanded.
I think there was another research somewhere. Yes, I think I still have some fabric left, or even if I don't, I can also set up a refinery somewhere close to water and craft some fabric manually in order to get another hand equipment slot. I think this will be handy. Yeah, and what we also will unlock with researching smokeless powder and get our hands on it is a rifle. So a rifle is basically a machine, yeah, a half-automated gun. We do have the possibility, where is it? To unlock a rebar gun, which is basically a single-loaded gun. But it takes so long to reload, and I have the game set on retaliate mode anyways, and the Xeno Basher is strong enough to currently kill everything before it can get me down, so that this is why I haven't bothered with getting my hands on the rebar gun until now, and I think I will skip this completely for the moment and opt for the rifle instead, because this is much more powerful and also will unlock us more inventory slots, which are desperately needed always as well. And once we get our hands on turbo fuel, we also get... oh no, we have the rifle ammunition unlocked with the rifle together as well. But yeah, this is the next step. Set down a refinery for smokeless powder, take some black powder with us, and unlock the rifle. Let me add this to the to-do really quick, because I am thinking about setting the game back to default, and so that animals and aliens will attack me for the world exploration tour, to have it a little bit more exciting, but I'm not sure yet. If you want, you can let me know what you would prefer, if you would prefer a really relaxed roaming around the world, collecting all the hard drives without any inconveniences whatsoever and interruptions by wild animals and monsters, or if you would like to see some more exciting stuff, because there are still more aliens on this planet that we have not met yet. Okay, now let me take the black powder that we have for now. This has to cool down a little bit. In order to research coal, I will simply come back to here and pick up more coal and sulfur if necessary. But for now this can go. And we have more than enough black powder for the moment. So let's go. Do I need more stuff? Yes, I need copper sheets. Okay, I will pick up all the necessary parts for the next step at the bases, and then I will meet you at the refinement. Okay, here we are. Now, let's see, how are we gonna do this? By the way, I already wrote it post-edit into the video last episode, but I accidentally underclocked this too much and set this on 60 meters cubed per minute for extraction, but since we added another refinery for plastic that was not planned at the beginning, we had to actually extract, or we have to actually extract 90 meters cubed per minute crude oil. So I, corrected this ASAP. Now, how are we looking? Polymer resin is adding up. Yeah, this is no surprise. Packaged fuel goes so fast. But yeah, as I already set up an additional awesome sink in between episodes, so this will never stop. And we need this heavy oil residue. So let's see, do we have enough space over here to set down a refinery? Maybe like this. Yeah, I think this should do. It's soft clipping a little bit, but it's not for eternity. And here we are going to produce smokeless powder. So let's set up a little storage container really quick. Redirect this into here very shamelessly. Now do this, overclock the shiznit out of it. Oh no, I can't, otherwise I would have not enough heavy oil residue. Yeah, should be good. Maybe I could redirect the heavy oil residue as a whole into here. Let's put another little storage container over here. And this is smokeless powder. Okay, now how much do we need again? $50. And scene. 50 smokeless powder. Let's not lose any time. Oh, I barely have enough motors. And let's keep this set up for a little bit, so that we have enough for the 6 additional inventory slots as well. Now, what do we need over here? Yeah, we have a nuke obelisk, but it will take a little bit more time until we get our hands on this. Uranium cells. We could do cluster obelisks, but yeah, this is basically in order to clear out a lot of flora or a large area in a shorter amount of time. We have explosive rebars and we have turbo rifle ammo, but we cannot craft the part on the right there yet. So the only need at the moment is this reward here. Oh yeah, fabric. A refinery for fabric. Do we have any water over here? There is some. How far away is this? I think there's no water available over there, but let's see. Let's take a quick look. Oh. I think these are geysers. And we have hatches over here as well. Now, can we set up a water extractor around here? Yes, we can. Creatures in the way. What are you doing? Taking a buff? Whatever. Okay, now, since we only... I could automate this if I feed the water all the way to the refinement. But if I would want to automate it, I think it would be easier to get the polymer resin over here. So, let's instead... Let's do it very, very quick and dirty. Without any foundations or anything else whatsoever. Let me get some power really quick over here. Do I have polymer resin? Yes, I do. At least a little bit. Now I know this is gosh darn ugly, but for now I don't really care. Oh, I actually have to extend this to the water extractor as well. So let's do this instead. Storage container, how much do you need if you are producing polyester fabric? 30, okay. So Mark 1 is sufficient. Water's flowing. Let's do this. How are we looking on power, by the way? Getting closer and closer to our maximum capacity, but no problem. And then again, I don't know if I will set up a more permanent solution. I do like these geysers or geysers. Oh, I don't have these bacon, what? Agaric yet. So let's pick some of these up. And while we are at it, let's harvest these really quick. Now you saw how much damage these hatcher flies or hatchers did, which is why I was so hesitant when I first met them right after my first death. So I didn't want to interact with them and die the second time right away. Okay, let's take a quick look again. I needed 50 fabric for the hand equipment slot, so while we are waiting for this a little bit, let's research the hatcher. This has no impact at all. other than us being able to convert hatcher remains into alien protein as well now. But yeah, aside from that, this is just one step closer to completing the alien organisms research tree, but yeah, it's whatever for the moment. But this is actually much easier than chopping down mycelia trees and harvesting them and crafting it via hand as well. We have already more than 50, which is nice. I will let this be for the moment, and once it runs out of polymer resin, it will go idle anyways. I might consider running or refeeding it with polymer resin every now and then. How are we looking over here? 100 more. Let's see. Okay, perfect. Let me get to the bases really quick. Wait a minute. We unlocked the rifle, but did we build it? I think I forgot to actually build the rifle. So what's the point in researching if we are not using it? But luckily we have everything necessary, and we can also craft some rifle ammo as well right away. So yeah, I could actually have tried this out for the hatchers, but there are more animals. There's more fish in the tank. Where are you? Over here. Let's take a look. Okay. And reloading. And this has actually 15 ammunition. So yeah, this is way more handy than a rebar gun, which has to be reloaded after every single shot. And it actually takes quite some time as well to reload, so yeah. There will also be more advanced ammunition for this rifle available very soon. For example, if we craft high-speed connectors later. Oh, hello over there. No, don't run away. Can I give these to you? Hello. No. Wait a second. Ah, okay. I wanted to do this. I want to have one single agaric for you. Do you want this? Hello. Maybe it's not the right nutrition for you. Okay, I will try something else later. But here we have a hatcher. And let's test out the damage for the rifle really quick. Wow, faster than expected actually. Yeah, but once we have other parts available, we will be able to craft advanced ammunition. For example, ammunition that finds the target automatically and tracks it. Okay, the rifle done as well. let's take this with us. So, oh, actually we do have... We produce more smokeless or black powder in the desert now anyways. So let's leave this and let it craft into smokeless powder. And once we come back in the future, we can pick this up as well. Okay, I actually also prepared more circuit boards at the bases and set this up. I showed this at the very beginning of the episode, I think. So we could also already unlock the 6 additional inventory slots. So hold please. Okay, here we are again. Let's see, how many motors do we have right now? 180. Okay, almost half. Now let's see, let's pick some circuit boards and go to the RAM really quick and get us some more inventory slots. I like it. How are we looking on plastic over here? Still good. Also a little bit left. Now I also saw the perfect demonstration object for the explosives and why they are actually really necessary for exploration, because every once in a while we will see these rocks that are already slightly cracked and only look like they want to be exploded. And most of the time there's all kinds of neat stuff hidden under it, behind it, or whatever the possibilities are. So yeah, we will definitely need more obelisks for our exploration, but I will set up another assembler which crafts black powder and the steel pipes, which we have plenty of, into more obelisks. Okay, I actually thought about, since I just farmed some aliens and got my hands on some remains, I can simply craft them into DNA capsules and unlock the rebar gun, so that we have the direct comparison why I chose the rifle over the rebar gun. So let's unlock this really quick. And then I have to take a quick look what I need to craft this, as well as the ammunition. I actually have more than enough. And some bars, which are simple iron rods. So let's equip this. And here you can see the rebar gun. And you simply put 1 bar iron rebar into the gun, and then you have 1 ammo to shoot, and then reload again. So yeah, you already see why this makes me a lot of more fun, and why I passed over the rebar gun. What do we have here? Do I have more alien protein? Because an additional hand slot. is always handy. No, but yeah, I will kill some animals on my way and take care of this as well. But for now, I think we'll... Oh yeah, we have the additional hand slot for the fabric, or with the fabric as well. That is why we set up our tiny little dirty fabric refinery. And we also can do this. And now we only need pale berries. And I think these are also necessary for luring this little doggo that we just saw, excuse me. And I will actually... I want to have this as a pet so that it can find me some stuff every once in a while. But yeah, not priority number one. Maybe something for the future. Okay, time is up for this episode again. But I have to do some maintenance anyways, because yeah, while checking what we still can do, I realized that I want to do some more before starting the next one. For example, I have to go to the black powder setup really quick again and set up an additional assembler, which I want to add after the storage container from the black powder. And I want to set up a second container and feed in some steel pipes in this, so that we will build some obelisks for us to use later on. And this does not have to be completely automated, since if I fill up a complete storage container with steel pipes, we will have more obelisks than we will ever need in this run through. And the second thing is, I actually realized that I forgot to change the pipeline at the refinement again, because now the heavy oil residue for the additional plastic is not feeding into the main line for the refinement, which crafts or converts heavy oil residue into petroleum coke and then sinks it. But instead it's getting backed up now, since the black powder should be ran out, or should have run out. And yeah, it's not crafted further into smokeless powder. But I think we already have enough from this as well, so I will hook up the heavy oil residue to the main line again, and then let the plastic continue to be converted into empty packages, and this one then into packaged fuel. So that's the plan for in between episodes, and then I will also run around and check what else has to be done, or what makes sense. So that's going to be it from my side for today. Thank you very much again for watching. If you have anything that you want to share with me that you noticed for improvement, or anything else, please let me know. Thanks a lot, and I will see you in the next one.